For all Booch acquaintance, Booch forgot and never brought to mind. For
Booch. We playing Booch ball. Booch. We playing Booch ball.
all Booch acquaintance be forgot and Booch the Booch Langs Booch.
Boochy.
Hello and welcome back to Booch Ball, the only podcast. I'm running out of things like geographical things to do.
Just stick with the only podcast. Hey, we're the only podcast out there doing kombucha in college sports, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, we probably are.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Booch Ball, the only podcast talking kombucha and college sports. I'm Alex, joined as always by my lovely but sick co-host Freed. How you doing over there, Freed?
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather yet again. Theme of the season.
Do you know
Yeah.
where under the weather comes from?
Under the weather. Under the weather. No, tell me.
Under the if you were to hazard a guess, what do you think it would be?
I guess I would guess it has to do with like a cold from the cold air. So we're under the weather.
Oh, interesting. Like the cold air front moves underneath or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting thought. It's wrong, but it's a good thought. The lots of expressions that we have today come from nautical terms.
Oh, are we about to get naughty?
That's right. And I read a book last year. The book of the year last year was The Wager, the tale of shipwreck, mutiny, and murder. And in that book, I found out that under the weather was what happened when you were. Did you hear that motorcycle go by?
Yeah.
This is loud. When you're feeling under the weather, you go beneath the deck, and that's where you recover.
To get
under the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, you're staying down below in the wherever they stay down there.
Well
below, poop somewhere.
Well said by the Lexter, as he called himself today on the Restream.
That's
feed.
right. That's my label, the Lexter. Alex, the Lexter. Freed, happy almost New Year. It's New Year's Eve today, Monday, December 30th. How are we feeling?
Mm-hmm. Well, from a football standpoint, we got let down once again. A Miami team ended the season on a low note for pretty much the utmost time. I mean,
we're 2-13 in our last 15 bowl games. I looked up the other day.
Yeah, it's not good. 2016, we won the bowl game. We finished the year on a 5-game win streak. I think we ended up 9-4 after the bowl game win against West Virginia. At that time, it was the Camping World Bowl. Then it became the Cheez-Its Bowl, and now the Pop-Tarts Bowl. The Russell Athletic Bowl. You're right. It was before the Camping World Bowl. But yeah, I remember being at that game and seeing the upwards trajectory we were on. And 2017, we came out and we won 10 straight games. And since then, every season has finished in disappointing fashion. Yet again, we start 9-0. We start looking at, it's all ahead of us. We just keep winning games. Maybe we end up the year number 1. Who knows? And we lose 2 out of our last 3 against not world-beating teams, quality teams. Syracuse and Georgia Tech are quality teams, but those are teams Miami probably would look back and say, we probably should have won that game, and they probably should have. Took ourselves out of the ACC championship, took ourselves out of the playoffs, and in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, it's essentially an exhibition game, but it would have been nice to have won that game. We all wanted to win.
Yeah, it would have been nice and everybody's complaining that Cam Ward comes out of the game at halftime, blah, blah, blah. Totally fine with that. Think he did more than he needed to by even playing that game. he basically came in as like the starting pitcher. He did enough to put the team in the lead, and then we pass it over to give a tryout essentially to who could be our starting quarterback next year in Emory Williams, who then had a disappointing game. I think it's probably too much to say that he's completely out of the picture. I know there's a lot of people who will be saying that today, though.
Yeah, I agree with both of those takes. I was ready for Cam to start sitting by the end of the first quarter. I mean,
I
he's
was watching the game with my dad, and my dad, after on the very first play of the game, the snap popped over Cam's head, and the running back couldn't get to it, and Iowa State recovers it in the first play of the game. After which I turned to my dad and said, "Well, that's going to be a guaranteed touchdown right there. Just wait and see." And they did score. My dad said that, but of course, my dad might be the most negative Miami sports fan I know. But yeah, he was like, if I was Cam Ward, I would go take the bus home right then and there after the first snap of the game.
I think he handled it really well.
Have a beer and chill out.
I mean, he played phenomenally in that first half. Unfortunately, 2 fumbles. Those were the only reasons we didn't score touchdowns every time he took the field. Of course, Iowa State scored a touchdown every time they took the field with the ball until the middle of the third quarter when our defense finally got a stop. So it's just more of the same. It's unfortunate. And you're right. Emory Williams played bad, really bad. I was expecting a lot more. I wasn't expecting Cam Ward, but I wasn't expecting an absolute halt. Like someone just pulled the emergency brake on a bus or a train and it just screeches to a halt. That was what the offense looked like. And it's unfortunate because we were running the ball at will. And then it was almost like they said, you know, we really need to let Emory throw the ball a few times. And that unfortunately cost us the game. I will say that pass into the end zone that went off the hands of Shamar Kirk, I think you could point some blame at Emory. You know, the ball hit the receiver in the hands, so you want the catch. But I mean, Emory could have delivered a better ball. A lot of things could have been done better on that play. But just to play devil's advocate here, let's say that catch gets hauled in. And also remember, this was Shamar Kirk, who's our 6th or 7th wide receiver on the depth chart. If that was X or Jacoby or Arroyo, I mean, it's probably caught for a touchdown. And if that was, you know, if Emory ends up going 2 for 5 with only a few yards, but that touchdown was caught and the rest of the game we just run out the clock, we probably look back at this a whole lot differently. And you never want to lose that game going with bad momentum. But if that's what we're going to get with Emory Williams, at least we're seeing it now versus him being the guy next year. I think he's got more to offer than that. But if that's it, and we've seen him for 3 games now, and it sure seems like that's about
my
it.
Freaking internet stuff. Sorry, my internet cut out for a second there. I need to figure out what's going on with my internet, Freed. One of my New Year's resolutions is to figure out why my internet keeps disconnecting.
Yeah, figure that out. Hopefully it's going through good on my end because I just finished a multi-minute monologue. But I don't know if you caught any of that.
The gist of it, yeah.
Okay.
I just got cut off the last 10 seconds.
TLDR, too long, didn't listen. What I'm saying here is hopefully it worked out that we got to see Emory. We got to see he's not the guy, and we need a portal QB now.
Right. Fair enough, Freed. Well, hey, 10-3, not the worst thing that could have happened, not the best thing that could have happened. It's my belief that this year now sets up next year to be the most important season, I guess, since this year. I guess this year was the year that we're like, this is the year.
Be the important year.
But this is like, it depends. And the reason I say it is because it talks to what Mario keeps saying at all of his press conferences of that Miami is the team that's trending up compared to every other team. We keep stacking together these great recruiting classes. So if Miami does anything, you know, like if Miami isn't competitive for the ACC championship next year, then that's, big trouble. Obviously, we've got to, yes, we had a great quarterback this year, but we can't say that next year is a rebuilding year by any stretch. Like next year is supposed to be the year where Mario has all of his players that he's recruited here. So, what worries me is that we don't seem to have a quarterback waiting in the wings to take over.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that point of next year being a big year because next year is a tough schedule. We have Notre Dame, we have UF. Both of those games are at home, but those are two big out of conference games. I don't know the rest of our schedule off the top of the head, but this could be a game where we could lose 2 or 3 games and still be what Clemson was this year, a team that makes the ACC championship, wins it, and goes to the playoffs. So the expectations need to be a little bit different next year, maybe in terms of win total. But I think that the goal of making the ACC championship needs to remain the same. And when you look back at this 2024 season, we're all hurt right now because of the way it finished, as we should be. But at the beginning of the season, if you say, hey, we're going to go 10-3, we're going to beat Florida, we're going to beat Florida State, everyone says, okay, cool, I'm in.
Yeah, we're all on board for that.
So let's look back fondly at 2024, a year that we had the best offense in the country, a year that we had phenomenal quarterback play, Heisman finalist. It's okay to be disappointed because even an average defense probably gets us into the playoffs and probably wins a game or two in the playoffs. So that hurts. But 2025, the offensive line's still there. The running game is still there. Those are traits that can carry you back to being a top 10 offense. Even if you don't have Cam Ward at quarterback, if we can just find a serviceable quarterback, the running game and the O-line is there to keep us where we need to be. The skill position players are there to keep us to where we need to be, even with just the returning young guys. So it's really about the defense, and they've already addressed not all of it, but a lot of issues in the transfer portal. We've already brought in about 4 secondary players who seem like they're quality guys who could have helped us this year. So you just have to believe in Mario. You have to believe he's going to make the tough decisions, whether that's firing Lance Guidry or whether it's forcing Lance Guidry to make the changes that need to be made, because clearly something needs to be made. But do you have any final thoughts on the 2024 season before we bring out the kombucha?
Before we crack open our Booch? No, I think you've actually summed up my thoughts pretty well. I enjoyed watching Miami football this year, which I haven't been able to say very often over the past 30 years of my life.
It was an anxiety-riddled season, honestly. Watching our games sometimes was not fun this year, but whenever we had the football, it just felt good knowing that we were going to score.
Yeah,
but
it was an interesting season.
High anxiety. When the ball wasn't in our hands, you knew we wouldn't score. And the last question I'm going to pose is, what was the best offense of the 2024 football season? Miami or whoever Miami played?
Yeah, well said. We'll keep that as a rhetorical question for you. I think, the season's over, right? Regardless, it's time for us to take a little trip to paradise, wouldn't you say?
I need it.
We both need it, Freed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Booch Ball, and welcome to the first segment of our show, which is, of course, what we're drinking.
What we're drinking.
Talk to me, Freed. What are we drinking today on Booch Ball?
This is the Brew Doctor Pineapple Paradise. A return to the Brew Doctor. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we've never drank this on show before.
I don't think that we have. It's a fruity Booch. It's Pineapple Paradise. The 3 ingredients listed are pineapple, passion fruit, and green tea. I'm drinking out of a can. You're drinking out of a bottle.
That's right.
Let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Take a little sniff test. Take a little taste test. Smells pineapple-y up top.
So I got a 9% juice. Is that what you're working with?
I am, yeah. That's why I think this is going to be different from a typical brew doctor. I feel like sometimes brew doctors can almost be a little too like seltzery, where they're kind of like you get a hint of the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to
But
going
they're
heavy.
always funky. Brew Doctor is always funky. I actually tried their seasonal cranberry one the other day over the holidays.
Yeah,
We were trying to get that one on with LZ. It
I
was
did. I
nice.
I had that. I actually enjoyed that. I found that when I was with my family.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. That Brew Doctor Funk's always there, though. Let's see if it's here today.
I think this is a strong start here for this Pineapple Paradise. I like the juice in here.
Not as funky as usual from the Brew Doctor. This one, it is a little seltzery. It's a little seltzery, but it's pleasant. Definitely pineapple.
I'm
Pineapple
enjoying
heavy.
it. Let's check out the what the bottle and can says. On mine, it says a tropical delight, a little vacation for your taste buds. And boy, do we need it, Freed. Flavor profile: 4 out of 4 fruity, 0 spicy, 1 floral, 0 herbal.
Yep, that matches the bottle exactly. So we're drinking the same thing here. And we got Otis under the lid. We got a sloth flavor party.
What does it say?
Flavor party.
Full. What is it?
Flavor party.
Oh, full. Okay, it's because you made flavor in it, like you added an extra syllable in the FL.
Flavor.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like fellatio. Flavio. Yep, I've got a sloth on here. He's wearing sunglasses. He's holding a pineapple, and it says "refreshing new look now with more sloth."
We love the sloth.
Do you remember what the sloth's name is?
Otis Siskid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we had like the former brew marketing guru of Brew Doctor on the program last year.
Dr. Rob, yeah.
Brew
Friend of the
Doctor
show.
was our big drinker last year. I think this is actually one of my favorite Brew Doctors I've had so far.
Call me crazy, but I miss the funk.
I don't miss the funk on this one.
I've learned to like that.
This is a nice
like,
little take.
I've learned to like that mild baby poopish flavor. I'm starting.
Yeah, I know. I think also the passion fruit has added an extra little sweetness kick.
Passion fruit. Yeah, there's lemon juice, guava puree, and passion fruit juice.
A guava puree. Interesting. And lemon juice in here too. All right, I'm feeling positive about this so far, Freed.
It's
Okay.
It's good to change up the mojo a little bit.
That's right. Change it up. We're official. Welcome to the off season, Freed.
The postseason, at least for Miami.
All right, Freed. It's time for our second segment of the show, which is, of course, what we're thinking.
What we're thinking.
All right, Freed. Since we're doing this on the fly, I actually have a little game to play with you that I've been forcing almost everybody that I interact with at any party or any kind of vague social gathering to play with me. Are you interested?
Hell yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to guess a number 1 through 10. This is kind of like the game. I always forget what it's called. It's not called Whiplash. It's called crap. It's the game where you're trying to guess a thing and people give you like spin a little dial and it's like the dial like goes from side to side. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Damn it. I can't remember what it is. Anyways, Boochie's
Explain it one more time. Explain it one more time.
Wavelength. It's called Wavelength. Have you ever heard this game?
No.
Okay, you're going to love it. I call it Category 10 because it's kind of like a hurricane, like a Category 10 hurricane. You're going to come up with a number 1 through 10, okay? I'm going to step away from the microphone here, and you're going to announce it to the Boochies softly. Just give me a second to get far enough away, and I'm going to plug my ears. Ready? 3, 2, go.
He thinks I'm going to say 5, but I'm not going to say 3.
Okay, do you have your number?
Yes.
Okay. So the way we're going to do this is that I'm going to assign you 3 different categories. You're going to give me something in that category that relates to the number. So a 10 out of 10 is the best possible score. A 1 out of 10 is the worst possible score. So let's say the category is fruits and the number is an 8. And you think that an apple is like an 8 out of 10 fruit. Like it's a really strong fruit. One of my favorite fruits, maybe not my favorite, but it's like up there. That's how you play the game. You got
Are
it?
we using the Booch ball scale? Like an 8 is delicious?
Not get away from that, but it's
Not
similar
necessarily.
concept. Similar
Okay.
concept.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. I am going to give you the first one is gonna be Miami offensive players. The second one is gonna be it's just gonna be Miami players. It's gonna be Miami
Okay.
players. The next one's gonna be college football teams.
I have a question. Where does the number that I announced come into play?
You're trying to help me guess the number because I don't know what it is. So you have to give me a player and a team that like fits into the scale.
Okay.
I'll take all of the categories and I'll be like, okay, based on what you've said, I think the number is like whatever out of 10.
Got it.
Got it? So we've got Miami football players of all time, Miami football players. Or you could do this year if it's easier for you to do
Probably
that.
do this year.
Let's do this year.
It could be 2 separate categories if you want it to be.
And then let's do college football teams, just like in general, like the kind of like the franchise, like how good, like their level of goodness.
Okay.
And then the last one will be kombuchas.
Specific flavors?
Yeah, preferably ones that we've had on the show. And if you want to check the Boocha big board, feel free.
Okay. I don't need to check the Boocha big board. This is the Boocha big board. This is the Boocha little
You
board.
took a big swig right when right when it's
I am.
This is bad for radio.
I am the mid board. The Boocha mid board.
Your drink. So whenever you're ready, Freed, hit me with Miami player, college football team, and then a kombucha flavor in any order whenever you're ready.
All right. Give me about 10 seconds. I need you to sing to the audience while I think.
Let's see. We boot you a merry boochmas, we boot you a merry boochmas, we boot you a merry boochness, and a happy booch year. Good tidings to Booch, wherever you booch. Good tidings for Boochmas, and a happy booch year. Jingle Booch. Oh wait, you're I forgot. Boochy, 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 I made you out of yeast, and when you're wet and fizzy, this Boochy I will feast. Oh, Boochy, Boochy, Boochy. That's
All
pretty
right.
good.
I got it. I'll save.
Yeah.
We'll save ourselves here.
Okay.
All right. So for 2024, Miami football, Kiko Maui Noah.
Okay, and I'll tell you what my feelings are. I won't say a number, but Kiko Maui Noah, a starting player on the team, a linebacker, probably will get drafted and go to the NFL. He also was, though, a weak spot for us this year, despite being one of our stronger players. So for me, it's trending positively, but it can't be anywhere near the top of the scale.
All right. A college football program. Miami of Ohio.
Oh, Miami of Ohio. Interesting. Okay. So that's pulling me back even more towards the middle of the scale. I think Miami, Ohio, I'm not even going to look them up. You're doing them this year or you're doing them in general?
In general.
In general? Okay. Only big player that came out of there was like Ben Roethlisberger. Okay. Got it. This is making me feel I'm feeling pretty middling about this.
And kombucha. GT's Gingerberry.
GT's Gingerberry you don't really like. But I imagine you're doing that based off the Bucci scale, correct?
No.
Okay.
I'm away from the Bucci scale because that's too locked in. It's more of a generic.
Okay. Bucci scale. Huh. Well, Freed. GT's Gingerberry. I know that you're not a big fan of that one. I think the number's got to be a 5.
So that is incorrect.
Ah,
When you stepped away, I whispered into the mic, Alex is gonna think it's gonna be 5, but it's 3.
it's 3. Come on, you can't give a 3 to our starting linebacker.
He had a really bad season. Really bad season.
Hmm. Wow,
Who
you
would
know me
you
so well.
who would you put as a 3? I don't want to call out specific players, but there's some dudes who had really bad years who I would probably have a little bit lower even.
I
But
would probably put like a cornerback on that end of the in a 3. I don't know.
I mean, we
I
didn't.
just think Kiko Maino is like one of the names that like is recognizable to me as someone who like watches all the Miami games but couldn't give you a full rundown of every player on the roster.
Yeah, three might be a little harsh for him. I could see you going to a 4, but we had expectations for him to be like an All-American this year, and he was really bad. I've heard that he's been kind of hurt throughout the year, but he's been bad this year.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 might be a little harsh. If I had to do that again, I think you're probably right at 4 or 5 is more fair for him.
You tricked me.
I'm sorry.
All right, Freed. Well done. Do you want to do it for me, or do you feel satiated?
Yeah, I want to do it for you. I like this. This is nice.
Do you want to keep the same categories, or do you want to mix it up?
No, I like it. I like it. Stick with it. I think you can do this pretty quick. So I'm going to mute my speakers and I'm going to close my eyes and I'll give you 5 seconds to pick a number.
All right, very good. All right, folks. Let's see. Freed gave me 3 before, so I'm gonna.
I'm back.
Wait, sorry, no, I was just talking to the audience.
Okay. Goodbye. 5 more seconds.
Okay. Freed, if you're listening to this, suck it. Just kidding. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
What'd you say about me? What'd you say about my hair?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. Lay it on me.
All right, Freed. If we are talking college football programs, I'm going to say Iowa.
Okay. We're trending slightly positive here.
Okay. If we are talking Miami players this year, I'm gonna say Jacoby George, wide receiver.
Okay. We're still in the slightly positive range.
Okay. And then for a kombucha, I'm going to say this kombucha that we're currently drinking.
Okay. And is this on the Booch ball scale, or is this just the generic 1 to 10 kind of bell curve?
I'm gonna do it on the Booch ball scale.
Okay.
So 7 would mean would recommend.
So are you telling me that it's a 7?
No, I beat my loss at my own game.
So if you didn't just say that, I think I was between 6 and 7. I probably would have said 6.
I threw myself off by checking the boot scale. I was like, oh, so I was trying to explain it to the audience.
I was definitely between 6 or 7. So you were going with a 7?
Yeah, I was going with a 7.
Okay.
God damn it. You want me to do one quickly again?
Let's do you have 3 more categories that we can do this with?
Sure. It's up to you. You can change your category if you want.
Let's do new categories.
Okay. Do you want me to come up with it, or do you want to have it?
Well, let's do it together. How about college football teams this year?
College football teams this year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about flavors included in a Booch?
Okay. Yeah.
Like just general flavor.
And then how popular an animal is in the general public's eye.
Ah, that's interesting. and the animals also has to be a mascot.
Yeah.
So it's like a double.
All right.
I can't believe I fucked that up. God damn it. I can believe it. I've done it before. I've played this game so many times, and yet I still every once in a while will give it away.
Okay. Am I going to be the number one this time?
I think I'm gonna have you're gonna be the guesser again because I
Okay.
fucked it up last time.
Okay.
All right, close your eyes and plug them.
Un momento.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, I really blew that one, gang, didn't I? Let's go with 9. Freed's giving me way more time than he needs to. He's also.
Okay, we're back.
I guess you couldn't have. I could have like talked with my mouth covering my hand, and then you wouldn't have had to close your eyes, and then I could have just signaled to you.
Yeah, let's do that next time.
Yeah.
It'd be like in Squid Games. Have you watched Squid Games 2 yet?
No, I haven't. Should I?
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
I did like the
personal
first
stuff,
one. I just like
but
don't. I didn't
he,
feel like
like,
I needed to do
this
another one.
isn't a spoiler at all, but like when he gets back into games, he's playing the one where they shoot you in red light, green light, and he like covers his face with his elbow, so he could be like, "Don't move, do not move," so that he doesn't get shot. So you could just do that. But anyway, lay 'em on me. What we got?
Okay, so college football teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with Penn State.
Okay. Definitely on the positives. Depends on how high. We'll find out.
Okay. Next up, we have things that would be included in kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
For that, I will say lemon.
Okay. Yeah. Same ballpark. We're high. We're high.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one is what was the other one? Oh, mascots.
Mascot in how popular
Yeah.
that animal would be with the general public.
Okay. How popular it would be in the general public? I'm gonna say a tiger.
Okay. So I feel very confident we're either an 8 or a 9. I am going to go with a 9.
You've nailed it, Freed. Absolutely nailed it. Well done.
Thank you.
And just like that, I totally redeemed myself.
Do I get to do these things as well?
Yeah, do you want to do it back to me for one last one?
Yeah, I want to do it back to you for one last one.
Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. Just mute your mic. Oh wait, no, you don't mute your mic. I don't know how to turn off the sound.
Just mute. Just turn. Basically.
Oh, wait, no, I actually do know. I do. Ready?
Yeah. All right, we are covering our mouth. I'm gonna stick with the negatives because I feel like it's different than what he did. So I'm gonna go a slight negative. We will do a 4. Okay, it's a 4, everybody. We in this bitch.
All right.
Welcome back.
Did you say
All
anything?
right. So yeah, I said your hair looks great.
Thanks. You mean it?
So what are our things again here? College football team this year.
College football teams this year, mascot, animals, that, and what the general public thinks of them, which is a tricky one.
Okay. College football team this year. I'm going to give you Virginia Tech.
Okay. Virginia Tech had a lot of hype to start the season, a disappointing season. I think they made it to a bowl game, but not a great year for Virginia Tech.
Flavor in a kombucha. I'm going to go with pineapple.
Pineapple. Not a great flavor in Booch. Pretty good in this current Booch that we're drinking. It's not one that I will typically gravitate towards for a Booch, but good for a Booch mosa or like a Booch cocktail drink. Okay.
All right, and then mascot in terms of how popular it is with the general public. I don't have this one yet. We're gonna have to go back into Alex singing break for a few seconds.
Are there any other Hanukkah songs that I don't know? What are the other ones besides Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel?
I think that's the only one I know.
You guys gotta get working over there. Boochy bells, Boochy bells. I like Silver Bells because I guess it is a Christmas song, but it's Christmas time. It's more of a vague like thing. It's Boochy time in the city.
All right, I got it.
All right.
So we are gonna go to shout out. This is an old shout out. This is a recall of sorts. Bonzi Wells, Ball State.
The Cardinals?
The Cardinals.
All right. Cardinals, as far as birds go, is a nice bird, good bird in the out to have in your backyard. I think I know what you're trying to do here, but I think you Cardinal. I was gonna go one way on this, but I think Cardinals are actually kind of cute and nice to have. It's kind of a boring mascot, I would say. Virginia Tech, I don't think that they did very well this year. Pineapple's pretty middle of the road again. Freed, I feel like you're trying to trick me into not saying 5, but it's not gonna work because I'm gonna say 5 again.
Oh, it's not 5. It's not 5. It's very close to 5, though. Do you want a second chance?
Is it 6?
It's 4.
Ah! You hate Cardinals?
No, I just think the Cardinal is not something that mainstream popularity is like. I love Cardinals. It's just not. It's
I
not
feel like
about
some people like the people who you're a birder, you know, you're the founder of the University of Miami Amateur Ornithological Society, so I guess
it's
you
a
know
nice
about
bird.
birds.
Yeah, it's a nice bird. I mean, hindsight, maybe that's a little harsh for the Cardinal, but what are you picking for a 4? Maybe I should have gone with the Badger. That would have been a good one.
Badgers, yeah, that is an interesting one where it's kind of middle of the road. I would say something like a cyclone, but that's not an animal, I guess.
Not an animal.
I would have said maybe it was 4. I would maybe go bulldog because
That
bulldogs.
crossed my mind, but people love dogs.
People do love dogs.
It's
yeah.
tough. It's most mascots are pretty high on the popularity scale. That's why they're a mascot.
Yeah, I guess the better thing to do would have just been like coolness factor of the mascot, like how good it is versus how bad it is versus the double game that we try to play inside of it.
Next time.
All right.
I like the game though.
I'm 0 for 2, and I also ruined the last one of the games. So tough outing for me. Great outing for you, Freed. Well done.
Thanks. Good. Hey, good game there, Lexter.
You got it, Friedrich. All right, gang. That's what we're thinking about here on our New Year's episode. And because New Year's is quickly approaching and we have to get this episode out before all the college football playoff games happen, Freed, it's time for us to tell the Boochies who we're picking.
Who are we picking?
All right, Freed, I've got the slate in front of me here if you're ready for me to go on through it.
Yeah, send it.
All right, so we've got 4 big college football playoff games happening. The first one is the Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, where number 5, Texas, is playing the number 4 seeded Arizona State Sun Devils. Texas favored by 13 points. We've also got the Rose Bowl featuring number 8 Ohio State versus number 1 Oregon. The 8th seed favored by 2.5 points over the Oregon Ducks in the Rose Bowl. Then we have Penn State. Maybe a Nittany Lion would be a 4 because, like, what's a Nittany Lion?
That's a mountain lion.
I guess lions are cool.
That's a pretty good 4, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, only just because people would be like, a what lion?
Yeah,
like,
or the Cougars. Yeah, the cougar. A cougar is about a 4.
It is a cool. No, I think I'm underselling that. I think that actually is pretty cool. A cougar. Maybe the Boise State Broncos is like a 4. Yeah. I don't know. People love horses though.
They do.
especially girls. All right, that's the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Number 6, Penn State matching up against number 3, Boise State. The number 6 seed here favored by 11 points, which kind of makes the whole seeding of the playoffs kind of get called into question. And then the last one we have is the All-State Sugar Bowl. Number 7, Notre Dame facing number 2, Georgia. Georgia favored by only 1 point in that game, the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Couple quick questions, comments. Is your uncle getting us tickets to the Rose Bowl this year?
No, Uncle Charlie is not. He's actually stepping down as the prudential man. And but I know for a fact that he will be going, and he's taking my other aunt and uncle. And I found that out because my dad told me, because my dad said he didn't get invited.
That is rude.
And then but then I was like, Dad, would you really have gone if he did? He's like, no, definitely, probably.
Oh, there you go. Would have felt good to be included.
So what are you complaining about?
Other comment. I miss when Tostitos was involved with the Fiesta Bowl. It just felt right.
I know, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. I don't like Verbo. It was like the PlayStation for a little bit too there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. The Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Number 5, Texas. Number 4, Arizona State. Texas favored by 13. Who you got there, Freed?
13 is too big of a number for me. I am going with Arizona State. I bet against Texas last week, and I think I was wrong. I'm just going to keep betting against Texas till they lose, which they will.
All right. That's fair. That sounds like my kind of logic, Freed. I'm going to pick Texas for like kind of the same but opposite reason, where I picked against them last week, which I shouldn't have done because I should have stayed true to my cousin Chazzy and taken his team. 13 points is a big spread, but Texas appears to be a good team. I think Texas is going to put the beat down on ASU, so I got them.
Okay. So New Year's Eve, Penn State, Boise State. Penn State favored by 11 points. What are you thinking here?
Favored by 11 points, and once again, Freed, I'm taking it. Shout out Laura Ledbetter. I am now a Nittany Lions fan throughout the rest of this, so we'll be rooting for Penn State. And I think Penn State's sneaky good. They looked real good against SMU. And Boise just doesn't scare me, despite Genty. I think he's great, but you don't scare me unless you have a good quarterback in this day and age. So I'm taking Penn State to cover the 11.
I love your shout outs to all of your random friends who happen to attend that university or are fans of, and that's your pick basis. I love that. I'm not falling for that, though. Same reason I'm taking Arizona State. Good running back, Scatabo, Boise State, 11 points. They're staying in this game. I don't believe the hype with Penn State. I think they caught a weak SMU team in the spotlight. I think Boise State is probably better than SMU, and they'll hang in a little tougher. So,
all right. We'll see what happens. I'm very curious about that game, especially the way Boise played against Oregon earlier in the season. And speaking of Freed, the Rose Bowl, number 8 seeded Ohio State favored by 2.5 against number 1 Oregon. Who you got here?
How classic is it that these two teams are playing in the Rose Bowl? Did they do that on purpose? Because that's fitting.
Why? Just because it's like Pac-12, kind of like Big Ten.
Yeah, it's like Pac-12, Big Ten. That's what the Rose Bowl was.
Yeah,
but I'm shocked Ohio State's favored in this game. I'm not. I actually have been saying for the last few weeks that Ohio State's going to beat Oregon when they play next. I thought it was going to be in the conference championship game. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I'm surprised Vegas agreed with me, especially by 2.5. It's shocking. I'm going to stick with it and go with Ohio State. I think that it's just really tough to beat a good team twice in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it's a new day. It's a new game.
It's Oregon's a new dawn. It's a new life.
Yeah, Oregon's number 1 for a reason, but I'm rolling with Ohio State here. I just think I think Oregon's time's up.
Freed, you've been saying it, and now I'm saying it too. I got Ohio State in this one as well. 2.5 points. Give it to me. That's a field goal. It's basically they're saying it's a split, but yeah, I think Ohio State came close enough to beating Oregon at Oregon, and now we're playing at a neutral site. Swing it over to Ohio State. I think what I've picked so far, by the way, is every single upset so far. I've got Texas, Penn State, and Ohio State upset by the ranking, but not by the spread. I picked every ranking upset with the point with the point
I
total spread.
see. Well, let's see if that trend continues. We got Georgia only favored by 1 against Notre Dame. Georgia, remember, they are without Carson Beck forevermore.
That's right. Oh my God, that's why it's only 1 point. That's very interesting, Freed. That's very interesting. Freed, I'll believe it when I see Notre Dame beat an SEC team in a college football playoff atmosphere. Notre Dame certainly looked like a strong team when they were playing Indiana, but that doesn't really say too much to me. Give me UGA. I didn't really like Carson Beck throughout all this season, so the fact that he's not playing isn't really swaying it too much. And if you're going to give UGA that 1 point, I'll take it. I'll see you. I'll take that, and we'll see you in the semifinal.
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I think they're for real. Been saying it for the last few weeks. I kind of like them to win the national championship at this point. It's them and whoever comes out of the 1-8 matchup. I like as my top 2 teams. So I don't believe in Texas. I don't believe in Penn State. It's Notre Dame for me.
All right, baby. Well, sounds good. So we've got that. So let's say, do we need a tiebreaker?
Nah, we disagreed on 3 of them.
Okay. Well, I just want you to say it before, for this show here. Who is your prediction for the championship game?
Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Interesting. I'm going to say, I'm going to say Penn State and Texas because those are my 2 teams, baby. Penn State and Texas will book it, see you in the championship game.
It's on.
The stakes are so low for me to say that. All right, folks. That's who we're picking in the games. Now it's time for us to tell you what our final score is for this Pineapple Paradise from Brew Doctor. And I may have given it away a little bit early in the episode, but we'll see what the final score is, Freed. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one's just not really doing it for me. I wouldn't have used the term seltzery to describe Brew Doctor previously because I feel like they're generally so funky, but this one's not, and therefore it is seltzery. I would drink it, and I'm right around that Freed zone of the 5.5 range, but to stick with my predictions or my numbers from earlier, I was a little in the negative, so I'm going to drop it back down. We'll go 5.4.
5.4. All right. This is one of these rare episodes where we have a pretty big difference in our take. I actually think this is one of the stronger Brew Doctors I've had. Something that I sometimes miss in the Brew Doctor is that funkiness kind of overtakes the potential sweetness in the Booch. And that's some of the things that I like about some of the Booches that I really do like the GT's synergy with the lemonade, strawberry kind of taste, and then the Health Aid Ginger Lemon, which is a sneaky sweet Booch. So for this one, I actually enjoy it a lot. I think I would definitely recommend it as a Brew Doctor to try. And for that reason, I'm putting it right at that 7.3 level, just right squarely in that would recommend zone.
All right, 5.4 for Freed and a 7.3 for Alex. There's only one thing left to do.
It's got to be one of our biggest spread differentials, I'd say.
Yeah, we're usually pretty locked in. It may be because I'm sick. Taste buds are off a little bit. Who knows?
Your throat's a little sore.
Let's talk to the throat is sore, and this one's not. It's tickly. The ETF 5 bot, beep it up, baby. Beep boop 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 beep boop boop. Yeah. We got a 6.35 here.
6.35. All right. With a 6.35, that actually slots the Brew Doctor Pineapple Paradise one slot above the GT's Pineapple, which came in at 6.3.
Interesting.
So we clearly that's where we think the pineapples lie, right around that, and that's in the 30. That'll put the Brew Doctor Pineapple Paradise into around 34th place.
It's tough to get really strong scores in the sweet fruity category from us. I think this is one of the higher scores you've given out on a sweet one. Mm-hmm. We did really like the mango. Let's see, we enjoyed the ginger pineapple belly reset from Health Aid. It was 7979. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I guess I've been liking some of those lately.
this one was just a little tough for me, and I think an average of 6.3 is fair for this. That's a would buy.
Are you putting it into the thing now? I'm doing it right now.
No, I'm not.
Perfect. Well, folks, Freed, congratulations on toughing out this episode. This is your flu game. You were playing hurt today, but we still were able to power through. We found a fun little game to play. Category 10. Tell all your friends about it, and make sure you tell them I came up with it, even though I stole it from somebody else.
Deal.
Boochies, thank you for joining us for another year in the books. I think we'll have one more episode, Freed, maybe two.
Yeah, we'll be back before the semis. I'd have to imagine. We got some time. So
Maybe
yeah.
we'll do that. Maybe we'll do our old school, find our 4 favorite Booches of the year and do a little playoff action.
Might have to. Hey, if not us, who's gonna do it?
You said it, Freed. Boochies, we love you. Thank you for joining us all. And as always,
Stay cultured. Peace.
Booch. We playing Booch ball.